Another weekend. Another noise violation. Let's go find it, shall we? It's just down the street over there, making the call now. Called just under 3 minutes ago. You can hear it's at that party with the bright light way over there. Tons of people still there. We'll see how long it takes people to show up. I think I'm gonna wait like 10 minutes, then I'll just walk back. 4 minutes, ladies and gents, and I just saw the cops drive by. I don't see them anymore, but they were over there. Again, sub 5 minutes. You can see it over there. Impressive, especially compared to last week where they like basically didn't show up at all. So that's good. And a second cop just showed up. There's 2 of them to shut down this party. I wonder if last week they failed me, so they're like, oh, we gotta turn up this time, but they came out in force. Look at that. All right. A third cop appears. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. Less than 7 minutes. I want to note that even though it's been almost 10 minutes and there's 3 cops on the scene, you can still hear the music. I always assume they shut down the party, but maybe they're just like, keep it down, but not out. Huh. Yeah, listen. It is a little past 10, almost 11. One of the cops is leaving, so job well done, I guess. Fat load of good that did, it seems. Oh, so much for the cops showing up, I guess. Better, you can hear it better here. I guess maybe like 11:30 we'll call it in again if they're still going, because this is still not acceptable, you know? Like I'm quite a few houses away from the house where it's happening. You can still hear this, so So essentially what happened next is I went home, and about 22 minutes after the initial call, I called the police again. They were actually quite nice about it. You know, like, oh, is the music still going? We'll send someone out again. I didn't actually leave home to check if the police came a second time because I just couldn't be bothered. However, less than 10 minutes after the second call, the music stopped entirely. I wanted to ask the department about this, and I specifically wanted to ask why they didn't have an officer kind of circle the block or at least stay in the area to make sure that this residence complied with the noise ordinance. You know, they had 3 cops show up to check on it. Why wouldn't one of them stick around to make sure that things were okay? I guess they weren't expecting this residence to be brazen enough to keep it going after 3 different cops showed up to tell them to quiet down. I also wanted to know what ultimately happened to this residence. The cops in this city are giant pansies. They always only give you a warning. They don't actually hand out noise violation tickets. So for sure, when the 3 cops showed up, they probably gave him a slap on the wrist. But if the cops had to show up again, did they actually do anything to this residence? However, I'm not sure if the department here actually respond to emails at all, or to what degree they're particularly transparent. They would probably tell me it's none of my business, which it really isn't. So that's why I did not ultimately send this email.